Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, the liberal loudmouth. It's just me today. This should be pretty quick. I just got an email that it made me realize that I'm going to end up going back to court with Owasso Public Schools without going into too much detail because I don't want to explain exactly what it is that caused me to issue an open records request to Owasso, which I did about 7 months ago, 6 months ago. I sent in an open records request for one of the principals for a very specific reason. I then sent an email to the superintendent and the assistant superintendent and said, do not tip this person off because this person has committed a crime. I believe this person has committed a crime, and I need these documents in order to prove that this person is the person that did it. Because there were things that happened, and again, I can't say what it is because I need to know what the school actually is claiming that they did. I didn't even tell the school why. I just said, don't tell this person ahead of time that this is happening. Well, fast forward 7 months, the open records request, hadn't been filled. And then they sent me an email and they're like, well, we can get everything else. And it's like $700. But the thing we can't get is that thing that you asked for about this specific employee, about things that are part of open records. They claimed that we can't do this because it's part of an investigation. And I'm like, okay, the documents that I requested in no way would ever be part of any normal investigation unless the investigation started because of the public records request that I issued, right? So if my records request prompted this investigation on this employee, that's kind of a weird situation. So I tell them this, I'm like, this is ridiculous because we're talking about a crime, and open records for criminal activity isn't covered under the exemptions for public records requests. And they came back and said that, because I asked them when the investigation would be over, and they said it doesn't matter if the investigation is open or if it's closed, it remains exempt forever. So essentially, the school is claiming that in order to keep from fulfilling an open records request, which they have to do, all they have to do is claim, hey, it was part of an investigation, in fact, that began because of the open records request that was submitted. I disagree with that. If you understand what I'm saying, please let me know. If you don't, ask your questions. But if the open records request that I submit leads to that agency issuing an investigation against their employee, I believe that they cannot prohibit the release of that information because it was the thing that triggered the investigation and it came first. Not just that, but I believe the right of me to have that information to protect my child is outweighs their need to keep personnel issues a secret, because let's face it, it was it was specific to a specific employee, and it was very, very specific documents that I requested. The chances that an investigation occurring prior to that for something unrelated is basically impossible. So I will be hiring an attorney and I will be taking them back to court because I don't believe that they are correct. I believe that they're wrong here. I believe that they did once again what's called a pretext, where they wanted an outcome, so they came up with a reason to obtain that outcome. That's what they did in my case. They wanted to ban me, so they were like, well, what can we do here? Oh, let's do this. That's pretextual, meaning you came up with the reason after you did the action. So that's what they're doing here. And I went live with it because I'm irritated that they are still trying these shenanigans. And think of that, though, if a government agency that has to fulfill public records request if all they have to do is say, oh, well, we did an internal investigation about those same documents, about the same employee, about for the same issue because you issued those, and now we don't have to give you those documents ever. They're claiming ever that those documents are now never going to be part of public record. That's called defending an employee. That's all they're doing, because the dude got busted. And maybe they didn't realize it, but dude got busted. He came out and did something stupid, and I caught him. And I guess he thought I was stupid, but now he's got the school doing these shenanigans with their lawyers in order to prevent him from me being able to prove and say outright without a doubt that this person actually did this. So I guess we'll see. And I can't say that this person did it because I need those documents. And that's the thing. But those documents are part of public record. So I need those in order to prove something. And this is horseshit. But this is, this is the government. This is what they do. This is why schools are such a problem. Just like police departments, I'm sure they would do the same kind of shit. But think about that. The school is acting like, oh, we did an investigation on an employee, and now we will never send out that information as public records. Imagine every time a police officer shoots somebody and an internal investigation goes after that police officer, and then they say, hey, we don't have to release the body cam footage because we did an internal investigation and those are exempt. And if you go look at the Open Meetings Act, it does exempt investigations of personnel, but come on, this is pretty crazy. But the difference this time from last time is that I can actually afford the attorney. Maybe they don't realize that, but they're going to realize it soon. I'll be calling around tomorrow. If you know anybody that is good with open meeting law, that sort of thing, send them my way, because we'll get this going yet again. It seems like a petty issue. It seems like a small issue, but just think about that. A government entity is claiming that all they have to do to not send out open records requests is to do an investigation on that employee because of the open records request that was submitted. That's wild, right? Anyway, that's it for now, guys. That's all I got. We'll catch you next time, and I'll keep you updated. Peace.